Hi, I'm Julian Chidgey and welcome to the Fox Rage DVD Volume 1. Today you find us on the Tiverton Canal in Devon and we're going to be looking at the basics of modern lure fishing. And in fact we're being joined by an absolute expert in this area of the sport, Dietmar Isaiasch. He's actually the world champion. He's fishing a little bit further down, so let's go on down and join him and see how he's getting on. Dietmar, great to see you.
Hi, Julian, nice to see you.
Excellent, excellent. Now, Dietmar, obviously you're the brand manager for Fox Rage. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your lure fishing and your involvement with the brands?
Well, it started about 3 years ago when I started doing this range for Fox Rage, and well, I'm a lure designer for many years, did a lot of soft baits and hard baits for various companies, and now I'm very, very happy to do all this for Fox. And well, it's something very interesting to make your dream or get your dream come true with your designs and everything like that.
Excellent. Must be really satisfying when you hear of anglers catching on your products.
100%.
And I understand you're the world champion lure angler as well.
Yes, I am. Together with my wife, in 2002 we won this big event in France, in Bordeaux, with some beautiful pike and some nice zander, and yeah, I'm still a world champion in lure fishing, you're correct.
Excellent. Okay, so the world champion with us today, there's probably no one better equipped to help us find a few pike along this canal. So should we go and give it a go?
Definitely.
Excellent.
Okay,
let's make a start.
Help, Julian. I need your landing net.
Okay. There we go. I'll make it a little bit easier off the wall there.
Perfect.
In we go.
Good.
Excellent. If you hold that, I'll just grab the unhooking mat.
Do that. Typical nice English pike from one of these lovely canals here.
There we go, Dietmar.
Brilliant. Okie dokie.
Pop that one on there.
Oop. Nope.
Easy. He's a lively little fellow, isn't he?
Definitely. Just in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah, quite.
Just woken up.
Just woken up.
There we go.
Oh, come on.
Perfect. I'm on the first cast of the day as well. Excellent. Okay. I think one of the things that goes to show as well is obviously, you know, you've only had a few casts here.
Yeah.
That sort of short session, literally just got out the car, a few casts at the start of the day, and he's caught a fish. I mean, that's something that you could do on the way to work, on your lunch hour, on your way home. So really kind of fits for people that don't necessarily have a lot of time.
Correct.
Excellent.
This is modern lure fishing, as it should be.
Indeed. Dietmar, I can see you've laid out your lure fishing tackle here.
Yes.
Do you want to talk us through the key points of what you use for your day-to-day fishing?
Perfect, no problem at all. Well, this is in fact the type of material I'm using for the daily street fishing or bank fishing, you know. A very light rod like the Ultron one here in 7 foot, in combination with an Ultron reel. Here's some braid on it. A soft steel, very important to fish braid with lure fishing.
Okay, so what's the advantage of using the soft steel braid over a normal nylon line?
Well, important is, first of all, you have a very thin line with a lot of breaking strength, and you have nearly no stretch at all. And that makes it easy to feel the lure in a better way, and when you get a strike, it's like, well, it's dynamite, it's great, you know, you feel the hit, it's perfect, you know, you like as a lure angler.
Excellent, excellent. You've got a landing net here as well.
Definitely. You need a landing net because you never know where exactly you can land your fish, and that's the reason also a telescopic one in combination with rubberized mesh.
I noticed the mesh was a little bit different there. What's the advantage of that particular style of mesh?
Very simple. You do not harm the fish because it's better for the fish, and it's also better for your lures because all the hooks will not stick into the mesh.
Brilliant, okay, and you've got a bag here to carry everything in?
Yes, because plenty of soft baits and hard bait needs to be carried, and also very quick access to it. That means a nice shoulder bag like this, and of course pliers, scissors, and whatever you need. And also don't forget the steel tracers.
That's really helpful, Dietmar. It's great to see the tackle that you're using day to day. The key thing that I can see from this is it'll all easily fit in the boot of the car.
Definitely.
Perfect for short sessions, nipping out, trying new waters. Excellent. Thanks very much.
To get the best out of your soft steel braid is the right knot. For that reason, I take the soft steel braid double, wetten it, then I go through the swivel or the ring of your steel leader, make a kind of hangman knot, in fact, by winding the line parallel 6 times, bringing it back, and then tighten it like this. For an extra control, I always use a knot puller, and this knot puller is important because that gives you the extra tension to fix the knot. And last but not least, it's also very good control. You just cut away the line at the end, and what you see now is you see 3 ends, and if you have this 3 ends, you know you have done the right knot for braid. I like also the narrow part because here's quite deep water.
It's a good like a pinch point, an ambush point for the predators. There used to be a railway line underneath the canal here.
Ah, okay.
That's what this is here.
That looks great, especially over there when you have all these ambushes.
Trees,
yeah, definitely nice.
Perfect cover.
Condition. There was a kingfisher.
Yeah.
Little bird. Lovely to see.
Yeah, almost every time you come down here, you normally see the kingfishers going up and down, up and down.
Oh, lovely.
Going to hand man that one, Dietmar, or do you want the net?
After the little one.
Another fighting fit little jack pike.
Unbelievable, yeah. Took 200 meters line.
Did that one grab right at your feet, or?
Yeah, just right at my feet. That's. Come on. Yep, gone. Fine.
Okay. I think that's definitely. I think that's quite a valuable lesson for people trying this area of the sport for the first time as well, to keep your eyes open, look behind the lure for anything that follows in and grabs at the end. I guess from a pike's point of view, it's a natural instinct as well to kind of herd it against a feature where it's easier to catch a prey fish. So.
You're 100% right. And in that case, normally I was about thinking, well, changing the lure, because I think the water here is a little bit more darker, probably also from the shadows from the trees.
Yep.
I was just about thinking to go to a more brighter color, and I just did it this way 1-2 times, and then I saw the little one coming behind and grabbing the lure, you know.
go, here we go.
No, gone. That was a serious fish.
Yeah, I saw the wave coming in. Well, Dietmar, we've tried quite a lot of different soft lures today.
Yes, we did.
For someone who's new to the sport, it could be quite confusing with such a variety out there. What would you recommend for someone who wants to try this for the first time?
Well, I would recommend a shed like this with a swim tail,
okay.
Which has a lot of vibration in the water. It's easy to fish, so you can jig it or you can spin fish it. And a good size is a 5.5 version like this. Catch nearly everywhere the pike, get some big perch, and if you have zander, they love it as well. And we have made a ready rig packed where you see 2 lures in it. Both are together with a jig head, with 2 extra traces. So if you buy a pack like that, you only need your fishing rod and your reel fishing line, and you can go fishing, no problem at all, you know. And we also made sure that the hook size as well as the weight on the jig head is 100% attached to this, so you can easily fish it without being too scared that it's too heavy or not suitable for my swim or whatever.
So that's a nice sort of universal size that will cover most applications for
definitely.
UK fishing.
Of course.
And most importantly, when you're fishing for predatory fish, I see we've got a couple of wire traces in there as well.
I will show you.
With good quality fittings as well, which is obviously absolutely vital.
30 centimeters, long enough, and a good snap.
Excellent.
Strong swivel at the end. What else you need?
Brilliant. And we've got those in some really good patterns there. We've got the Fire Tiger, which is obviously suitable for certain conditions. You've got a very natural pattern.
Yeah, definitely.
Well
this is good. This is roach. I love it really when the water is very clear water. This is for the very dark water and for circumstances where you have clouds and it's rainy, miserable weather. Perfect color for that. And of course, the good old rainbow trout.
Indeed, ever reliable. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so we've got the Pro Shad packs here, perfect for those of you that want to try soft bait fishing for the first time. Recommended by Dietmar. You're not going to get a much better recommendation than that. So I think we're going to get back out there and see if we can catch another one on them.
Yes, we do.
Well, it just goes to show that with modern lure fishing methods, they're not all monsters. I'm going to slip the hook out of this one and pop this one back. One of the great things about a lot of the modern soft lures as well, just with a single hook, makes unhooking far more easy than with lots of trebles. Going to pop that one back. Hopefully in a few years we'll bump into this one again when it's a 20-pounder. Dietmar, we've looked at some of the Pro Shads that are already ready to be fished. Yes. Obviously there's lots of other soft baits and jig heads available within the range. Can you show us how to rig those up to get the best from them?
Of course. I take one of the fish snacks ones here, in that case a sludger shad. It's a 5-inch shad. And important is whatever shad you take is the right hook length. Keep in mind that the hook length should not be longer than 50% of the shad length. So in that case it's a 4.0, and you can see it's maximum 50% that covers the length of the shad. If it's too long, it will interfere the action. Look, Julian, and then a lot of anglers do one major mistake. They go with a jig hook in the middle of the shad, and what they create is only a very, very little gap. So if you just imagine this is now in the shad, so the outcome will be that. So you see, you have only a tiny little gap on front, but what I want to create is a very big wide gap. That means if I hook the fish, it's much easier to unhook him later on, and it's 100% safe in the mouth.
I'm guessing that will help you stop you from missing takes and losing fish as well, because you've got a much bigger surface area of hook exposed.
Correct.
Okay, so how do we actually thread that on then?
Okay, I go a little bit more to the top, about here, let's say 15% away from the back of the shad, put it in, and then I thread it through. Look, Julian, now we know the right place where we put the jig hook in, and now it's important to get it on the right place out. For that reason, I put it in my hand, as I did before when I determined the right hook size. I lay it just over the shad, try to mark it here with my thumb, and then just make a little mark with the point of the jig hook. Then I go through it. And important is that you stop moving the jig hook, you just move the soft bait. It's much easier, and then you bring it this way.
So over it's just threading it round the shank.
Just threading it round the shank, correct. And you try to achieve that the point of the jig hook comes out. Can see that?
I see.
Exactly at this point. Then you just bring it in, and you have it in a nice way. You know, you have the white gape you're looking at, and what you also can see is these sheds what we produce are machine molded, so you get always this line in the middle, which helps as well to thread the hook in the right way.
Excellent. Okay, well obviously there's lots and lots of soft baits and jig head combinations within the Fox Rage range, and using this simple mounting technique, obviously there's lots of variation that we can bring to our fishing. Brilliant. Well, we're just trying out the new versions of the Fox Replicant. Just seeking a bit of cover under the bridge here. Typical place where you'd expect a predator to be. Tried a little perch pattern. You often get perch around bridges, obviously being predators themselves, and this little pike couldn't resist the Replicant. Not the biggest pike ever. Now we're using the rubber meshed landing nets here, and for those of you that are new to lure fishing, these are really helpful because the hooks don't snag up like they would on a normal mesh. They're really easy to pick out afterwards. So we're just gonna grab the pike underneath the gill cover, and then we've got a single hook on the top of the Replicant, which makes for nice, easy unhooking. We can just lift it clear. And like I say, I think that was a bit of a case of matching the hatch. Underneath bridges, you've always got plenty of little perch, and this is no doubt what this fish was there waiting for. So we presented it with what he was expecting to find there, and a lovely little pike was a result. Let's pop this one back, get the Replicant back out in the water, and see if we can tempt another one. We've just popped that pike back. I just want to have a quick look at the landing net that I'm using. I mentioned about the rubberized mesh. Now, if you're using a normal style landing net, when the trebles get caught up in there, they're really difficult to get out, and that can cause problems obviously with regard to you having to cut hooks, and also at times with the fish rolling up in it because it's so soft. As you can see with the rubberized coating on the mesh, it's really easy. Just simply take the hook out, and obviously that's good for you, good for your lures, and most importantly of all, good for fish conservation. Just had another cast beside this bridge on the Replicant, and yet again they're doing the business for us. I saw a big wave coming down the canal behind that lure, then just sped it up a little bit. A really good little tip there. Obviously if a pike's chasing a prey fish and it sees it, it's going to try and get away. So a really good little tip, a good trigger to get a bite is just to speed up the retrieve, and that works in this case as the pike accelerated and absolutely nailed that lure. Now this, I'm just going to bring this onto hand, lift it out so we can have a look. Again, you can see how confidently the pike's taken the soft bait, and with soft baits, that is one of the really big advantages, is the fact that when the pike grab them, they don't let go, which means you get good hook holds, and as you can see, stunning little pike. They're not huge pike, but great sport and really accessible fishing for people to try on short sessions. It's what modern lure fishing is all about. You've just seen me catch 2 pike in quick succession on the Replicants, so let's have a look at this range of lures. Starting with the smallest size, we've got the 5.5 inch model. Now this is relatively slow sinking, means it's absolutely perfect for most smaller UK venues, such as canals, drains and shallow lakes. For those of you that fish rivers or slightly larger still waters, you might want to check out the 7 inch version. Now you can see inside this model here, you've got lots of lead on the inside of the belly there, which means it will get down and fish at the correct depth, whether you've got heavy flow or a deep water. Now for those of you that take on the big gravel pits and trout reservoirs, we've got a 9 inch version. Now as you can imagine, with a big paddle tail like that, it's got a big profile in the water, goes over on its flanks as well, big flashes of colour, and for the really big pike, this is an absolute killer. Now we've also got something a little bit different in the form of the replicant twist. Instead of a traditional paddle tail, we've got a curly tail. Now, curly tail lures have proven themselves to be great catchers of pike, and this one is no exception. And underneath, to make it a little bit more snag proof, we've put a blade instead of a treble hook. This means that you can actually pull it through quite dense weed cover and lots of those type of places where pike love to hide without it getting snagged up. Let's have a look at the colours as well. We've got some new colours here. We've got natural patterns for clear water situations, such as a stickleback. We've got a very natural roach pattern. And another one, particularly for clear water situations, would be this. This is a slick. Now, a lot of people are put off by a green colour lure. Doesn't seem maybe the most natural, but for those people who've been fishing the trout waters like myself over the last few years, this is a really big edge and a proven winner at catching the biggest pike. If you're faced with coloured water, we've got rainbow trout with a neon pink stripe down the middle. And last but by no means least, we've got fire tiger. What I'm going to do now, we're going to get one of these clipped on, cast it out and show you how they work in the water. There's two retrieves that I use for the replicants. Firstly, in shallow water, it's a case of just keeping the rod up at around 10 o'clock and just continually twitching, almost vibrating the rod, and that just creates a lovely flanking action, and it's perfect for bringing the lure up in the water over the top of the weed. For deeper water situations, when it hits the top, I count it down with my finger on the braid until it hits the bottom, and this means that if I get a take on the drop, I can feel it. Then it's just a straight retrieve that brings it up away from the bottom and then let it fall again. As the lure drops, it curls round and round like that. The big paddle tail kicks out plenty of vibration, and very often predatory fish follow it down and grab it just as it hits the bottom. So do keep your eye on the line, because sometimes you get takes on the drop. Now, that particular retrieve has been really successful for me. In fact, my personal best, 32 pound 14 ounce, actually fell to that retrieve. Been lucky enough to catch 14 pike over 20 pounds on the replicants now, so a really proven big fish lure and a personal favourite of mine. Now, the tackle to fish these swim baits, I've been using with the 5.5 and 7-inch replicants, the Ultron spinning medium lures rod, 8 foot, perfect for bank fishing situations, and this is twinned with the Ultron reel and 20 pound soft steel braid. When I'm going up to the 9-inch model on big reservoirs and gravel pits, I use the Ultron spinning big lures, again an 8-foot model, the same reel, but step up to 28 pound braid to deal with the casting of bigger lures, big fish and snags. I've been working really hard on the new replicant range, and now you're going to see a little extract of some filming that we've done during testing on the River Wye. Yep. Down on the River Wye, and we're just testing the new Fox replicants. We're in our 3rd swim so far, and we've just had the first take. As you can see, we're into a good fish on the little 15 centimetre rainbow trout pattern. Just about to lift the lure out of the water. This big summer pike just gone airborne again. Came up and grabbed it. Then it goes. Cracking fish. Just leave her to rest in the net a second while we get the unhooking gear out. Those of you who like to do a bit of lure fishing will probably be really pleased to hear that the Fox replicants are back. And here's the first victim. Lovely double figure river pike. Just gonna slip her back now.